بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وخاتم النبيين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بالإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm your brother Abdillah Abdul-Lateef from Arabic Virtual Academy as well as Abdul-Lateef.com. Today, in this episode of Coffee with Abdul-Lateef, I want to discuss with you an issue. And this is something that we all need to keep in mind. Many times we find that, I don't know why it is, but we find that a lot of times we've been programmed to see the bad and not to recognize the good. You know what I mean? We see what's wrong, and we very rarely do we see what's right. We look at situations, or a lot of times we look at our situation, and we say, you know what, this is going wrong, and this is going wrong, I had an argument with my wife, or, my husband, he won't pick up his clothes. He comes home from work and puts his clothes down and won't pick them up. And all right, Jane. We have all of these complaints about our spouses. We have all these complaints about our kids. We have all these complaints about our job. We have all these complaints about everything. But subhanAllah, when we look around us, I don't know about you all, but I know very often when we do our marriage counseling sessions, there are people out here that are having real problems. Not to say your problems aren't real. I'm just trying to give you something to think about. Because all of our problems are real to us. But when I say real problems, I mean huge problems. One complaint some sisters make are that my husband's sloppy. He leaves his stuff laying around the house. He won't pick up behind himself. He doesn't. And listen, as an individual, you have a right not to like that about that individual. But understand there are a lot of women out there that are getting beat by their husbands. There are a lot of women out there that are having to work to take care of their husbands while their husbands sit home and play video games all day. And then when she gets paid, he takes all of her money and does what he wants with it. There are a lot of women out there that are getting, like I said, physically abused, as well as mentally and emotionally abused. There's a lot of things going on out here that are way worse than your husband not cleaning up behind himself. On the flip side of things, brothers complain, she doesn't listen to me. When I tell her to do something, she doesn't do it. All right, listen, and you have that right to not like that about her. But look, brothers, I can't tell you how many times we've run into situations with spouses. And I hate to say it, but it's something that's common these days with Muslims as well as non-Muslims. Or it's becoming more common, I should say. With people stepping out on their marriages. Whether it be physically or emotionally. With people just even picking up and just leaving and abandoning their spouses. We've all heard the stories. A lot of times what we need to do is we need to think, would I rather have my situation with the I'm not going to say little things because I don't want to belittle things that people like or dislike. But look at what's really out there. My child did this, my child did that. Do you know how many brothers and sisters came home and found out that their daughter was pregnant or their son got some woman pregnant or somebody's daughter pregnant? Do you know the real problems that people are going through? And like I said, all of our problems are real. But when I say real, I mean huge problems. that people are going through. We all have things that we don't like. But the thing that we need to do is understand, should we be grateful for those things that we don't like? In that, should I really be complaining about this? Or should I be thankful that I have the smaller problems that I have, not small problems, the smaller problems that I have compared to these problems that I see going on all around us? So try not to always look and see and feel like you're the victim. In life, you're going to run into hurdles. You're going to run into problems. You're going to run into situations. But this doesn't mean that you have real problems. Look, if you just take a second and look around you, you'll see people are really going through problems. Oh man, I don't have a lot of money this month, or I don't have extra money, I can't do. There are people that don't have houses, that can't afford to feed themselves and their kids. Okay, you have just enough, or barely enough, or you may not be making enough to do what you want to do, but there are people that can't even do that. Not one or two people, hundreds of people that can't do what you're doing, that would give everything that they could to be in your situation. And as long as your problems are tolerable, thank Allah Ta'ala that He didn't put you in their situation. And when you become thankful for what you have, instead of always complaining about what you have, when you become thankful, you'll get increase. And this is a promise from your Lord. So don't allow yourself to fall in another one of these, what do we call them? Downward spirals again. Where you start feeling pity on yourself. Oh, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going wrong. And you're being so ungrateful. When everywhere around you, people, your problems may be this big, everyone else's problems is this big. Don't you see that this is not right, that we be ungrateful to Allah for what He's given us? When this is our situation is way better than a lot of the situations around us. No one's situation is ever going to be perfect. Not in this life. So my point is, understand that there are people out there that have real problems right now. And if what you're complaining about isn't a real problem, let it go. Work on it. Don't complain about it like it's the end of the world. Because if you be thankful to Allah Ta'ala that He gave you a small problem instead of all of these huge problems, Allah Ta'ala will give you increase. Do you understand? So this is my point. This is what I wanted to get, the point I wanted to get across to you today. And I hope that this small reminder was beneficial. If you like it, like the video, share it. Share with your friends and families. Subscribe to our page if you like. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll see you on the next episode of Coffee with Abdul-Lateef. Jazakumullahu khair wa barakallahu feekum. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.